What up, crew? In this episode, I'm going to show you how I transform some materials into my 3D logo. Let's check it out. Joe P. Kirchman here, and this t-shirt segment is brought to you by Portland. So I wanted to make my logo on the backdrop of the blooper image, and I wanted each color to be from the materials that I use every day. I do a lot of 3D printing and stuff with CNC machines, and I thought it would be cool to use those tools for this process, rather than just using some stock photo. But let's also add some 3D depth to this, literally. But while we're segmenting this, let's use the golden ratio. Now, as you recall in math class, I'm talking to you, Jimmy. The golden rectangle is made by taking a square, drawing a line from the middle to an opposite corner, and then using that line as a radius to draw an arc, whose side lengths are in the golden ratio, which is about 1.6180339887498948482045886. I wanted to end on 586 because that's obviously the best month and year to be born in.
Moo.
But you can leave it at 1.618. This number is symbolized using the Greek letter phi, or phi. I'm an American in London, I don't know what it is anymore. So I took these numbers and drew them out in centimeters. I started with a 1 by 1 centimeter square, then 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 5 by 5, 8 by 8, and 13 by 13. I put this same graph into Fusion 360 showing the increasing squares change color, but I also wanted to see it as a 3D texture, so I extruded all the squares into cubes, and now I can get the full idea of how this will look when I build it out of wood. So I'm going to take the blooper reel image and separate out all the different colors into perfect shapes that line up into the golden rectangle. And this is the template that I made. So I ended up making it 21 by 34 centimeters, about the same size of a prison name badge plate, which I thought was pretty cool. Only because we're breaking the rules when it comes to making things. Then I measured out all the squares I would need and went to town on cutting these suckers. I first started with the circular saw and made the base and all the little squares that I'm going to stack on top of each other to really give it the 3D look. I then switched to an old rusty saw just to see if it was still usable. Then to the kitchen for tons of sanding. I put a piece of sandpaper around a wooden block, and for those of you that saw the living room build, you'll know where that wood came from. I'm gluing all the filler blocks with just wood glue and then clamping them together. And here's a little random history for you. The word blooper originates from World War II censorship and is short for blue pencil, which was used to cross out unacceptable parts of documents by the blue person. I wonder if that's related to the Blue Man Group, as well as possibly the Blue Jean Committee. I used straps as well as anything I could find to get a nice squeeze, including tape. I let it dry overnight and then it was assembly time. As for the actual colorful surface, I just 3D printed a lot of rectangles on my JokerBot Z18, as well as using squares of sandpaper, foam, wood, and plastics. Basically an amalgamation of stuff I use every day. Now, as for the actual name badge, I took a piece of black foam and spray painted the surface orange. Then I brought it over to my Carvey by Inventables. This is an enclosed tabletop CNC machine. That stands for Computer Numerical Control, which uses a drill bit to carve away material. Unlike a 3D printer, where filament is extruded on top of previous layers, otherwise known as additive manufacturing, because a CNC machine is removing material, it can be referred to as a subtractive process. I only need to carve deep enough to cut through the orange paint and show the black foam underneath. And I can promise that this is just as mesmerizing and therapeutic to watch compared to a 3D printer. Plus, it is much faster. Some of the parts needed a little extra cleanup, so I just used a knife to make the edges look sharp. I filmed this by just sticking some double-sided tape on the back of these and literally sticking it on. The paint's kind of scraping off, but it looks okay. Gives it that textured kind of feel. I like how it's 3D and you can see through it and inside of it, but I think next time I'll just fill it up with wood the entire way and then print sections to cover all of that wood so it has the color all the way down from every angle. But for a quick first start, this will do the trick. And here's a quote.